Mr. Overeem is coming forward. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You now live in Florida?
I do. Miami is the new home.
Okay. That's good. Kind of different temperature there than where you lived, isn't
A
it?
lot warmer, a lot more comfortable, and warmer than here, by the way.
Yeah. Are there bugs there? Okay, good. Keith?
Yes, you should have before you his application, his fight record. This wasn't a comprehensive fighter, but I can tell you all the medicals are in and are sufficient to grant licensure if you're so inclined. As you recall, you denied him a license back in, I believe, April of last year. It's been a little over 9 months now. He's before you today. My understanding is they plan to, they being the UFC, plan to have him fight on the February 2nd card with your against Mr. Silva. With your approval, that'd be about 10.5 months since the failed drug test, if approved.
Thank you, Keith. Mr. Overeem, do you wish to make a comment at this time?
Well, I came before you to show myself in person. Yeah, I think we've done everything we could to correct ourselves on errors that were made. And yeah, I'm just ready to get my life back on track, ready to get back on fighting. So looking forward to moving forward.
Feel you have learned something, be able to look inside over the last 9?
Definitely, yes.
Good. We all do that in life, all the time. May I just ask a few questions and then others? It looks like you've been drug tested regularly. In fact, Keith, you want to go just into our dates of our testing?
Oh, sure, sure. Yeah, I know he had sent in some tests, about I think 5 total between June and November. I also had him with the chairman's consent, had him drug tested on November 16th and December 21st, and those have come back completely negative.
Right. And he had tested himself on the 14th.
Of November, yes.
Yeah, of November. You were on the 14th. We came back on the 16th. And then we came back a little over 1 month later after that. You, Mr. Kaiser, you got the last of the that test in this morning, didn't
Yeah,
you?
we had the blood test results last week, and we got the urine test in.
And how did they check out?
Everything.
Great. Commissioners?
Good morning, Mr. Overeem.
Morning.
What have you been doing for the last 9 months then, other than training?
Well, I moved officially to Miami. Got to know the surroundings, networked a little bit. I spent a lot of time in the gym, trained a lot. As you can see, I'm still big Alistair, 265. I actually gained some weight. And yeah, I just invested in getting to the next level. 2012 was not a lost year. It was a year of learning from the mistakes and preparing for a good, better 2013.
You just changed your nutrition program or your regimen to get your elevated testosterone levels to the normal levels?
Well, my manager basically took care of everything. They also arranged the drug tests, and they have arranged a new nutritionist. So I have a better medical staff now situated here in the States, and they take excellent care of it.
Well, I'm proud to see you back in Nevada. I know it's been a difficult time for you as well. I have no other questions.
Thank you, Commissioner Encina. Mr. Aguilar?
I have no other questions other than thank you for going.
Commissioner Lundvall?
What was that?
Thank you for going back to Nevada.
Mr. Overeem, my question to you may sound a little bit odd, but I think that as you indicated that you've learned something through this process, the question I have to you is there something that the Commission can learn through this process, particularly with the random testing that we currently employ? From an athlete's perspective, do you think that there's something that we can do better or to improve upon the random testing, like the notification process, or where you've got to go to drop a sample, anything of that nature that you can advise us upon?
Well, I think that that the Commission is learning about its mistakes. I remember over a year ago when I was contacted for the first time to do a test, and I was in Holland. I was over the phone back then. But the structure was not in place to do the testing. So I think it's a process you learn by mistakes. I mean,
And the follow-on then random testing that we've had you engage in then, does it appear that we have corrected then what you perceive as any mistakes then concerning the notification, for example, that you received when you were in the Netherlands?
could you repeat that, please?
I'm interested in learning whether or not that you think that from our perspective that we too have improved our process, particularly of notification for when you need to go in and to leave a sample.
Well, I think internationally there are still some gaps, because I myself requested, because I didn't want to make the same mistake, because of course it looks bad if you're if it's not it's unable to do it where I am. So I requested you say, okay, what am I going to do when I have a training camp, let's say for example in Thailand or Japan, because those were countries that I previously was a lot. And yeah, I still do not have an answer to that question. And I know that, for example, if I were to be there to have my training camp, I cannot get drug tested, because the facilities to do the drug tests they're present, but it's hard to, as a civilian, because UFC is not ever recognized as a sport or as an Olympic sport, you can't just walk in a facility and have yourself tested. So in that sense, a structure for worldwide, and especially now that the sport is becoming more popular, would be better.
So in other words, that what you're suggesting is that if an athlete is going to be training in an international setting, that maybe the athlete can let us know when they're going to be in the international setting, so that we can predetermine then what type of notice then is required to the medical facility, such that you can allow yourself then to go in and be tested. Is that one suggestion that you're offering?
That would require an extra responsibility for the fighter. Fighters are not really, in my experience, the most responsible individuals. Otherwise, they would have good paying jobs, I think. But let me just put it this way. Now that I live in the States, it's just very easy to get things done, because yeah, everything is here. And in Holland, there's the facilities for being an athlete, a UFC athlete. It's just not the same.
I think the UFC and the Commission have been working also on the same problem of testing internationally, which has been a challenge for all of us.
But at least there's confusion here. I agree with you. Our first testing that we were trying to do with you when you were actually started in the United States, and then you were on your way back to Amsterdam. You were not caught in any way doing anything there. It was the testing that was difficult for us to get it done right overseas. So we learned from that and how to do that. We have a system set up, Mr. Kaiser worked in that, where we can test anybody in the world now. We have our system set up, so we've improved. But there was no penalty for you at that time, other than maybe a little inconvenience. What you were penalized for was the next random test, which you were guilty of, which the penalty imposed upon you was just. You agree with that?
I agree.
Okay, so it was just, and so you've been out 9 months because of that infraction. You'll have been out, by the time you fight again, almost a year. So the discipline turns out to be about 10 to 12 months, and I can't remember exactly, plus you probably lost millions of dollars during that time. Now, I just wanted to get those two things separate. I said, yes, we did learn from that, and we're a better commission because of it. But you were also guilty of infraction also. And thirdly, we're glad you're here today.
Happy to be here.
And glad to have you before us. Look forward to you getting back on your career and doing that which you love. Commissioner Lundvall?
I move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we have a motion for approval for a license.
Second.
And seconded by Commissioner Aguilar. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations. Welcome back to Nevada. And yeah, we really look forward to it.
February 2nd.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, so today I went for my license. I'm very happy to inform you guys that I got licensed to fight February 2nd at the UFC against Bigfoot Silva. So yeah, for me it's now back to work, back to hitting the gym. I'm already basically in shape. So it's a couple more weeks of grinding it, and then it's going to be showtime again. Thank you very much.